Okay, you have your NFL Week 12 prediction. So I'm coming off a pretty good week. So let's keep that trend continuing. But you have your first game, the Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. One of these teams are probably going to be divisional winner, probably going to make the playoff. The other team is already out of the playoff race, starting Jameis Winston. The Steelers, they're definitely the way more talented of a team. Their defense should rattle Jameis Winston, should shut down Nick Chubb. And that Steelers offense has honestly, other than last week, played pretty good. I don't see Cleveland's defense being much of a threat. However, it is a Thursday night divisional game, so anything can really happen. But just based off the talent and how well they've been playing, the Steelers defense should really shut down that Browns offense, and that Steelers offense has been decent this year. So I'm taking the Steelers. Then you have the Titans versus the Texans. Titans are not a good team. Will Levis is bad. That defense really hasn't done that much. Well, the Texans, they coming off a win against the Cowboys. Their offense is still kind of sluggish, but I think their defense is kind of legit. And I do expect their offense, the Texans' offense, to pick it up versus a not so a so-so Titans defense. I'm gonna take the Texans here. Then you have the Patriots versus the Dolphins. Patriots, their offense, honestly, not the worst with Drake May in there. Their Patriots offense definitely lacking key players, especially their weapons. And honestly, that Patriots defense has not been that good. While the Dolphins, ever since Tua has gone back, I think their offense has looked way better, enough to slice right through that Patriots defense. And that Dolphins defense has been kind of inconsistent. So I do expect a closer game, but I trust that Dolphins offense and honestly their defense over the Patriots. So I gotta take the Dolphins here, especially with home field advantage. Then you have the Raiders versus the Broncos. Like it's a divisional game. The Raiders do play well versus the Broncos, and anything can happen. But based off the season so far, the Raiders, their highly touted defense that I hyped up over the offseason is not good. Their offense with Minshew, better last week, but still very bad. While the Broncos rock one of the best defenses that will shut down Gardner Minshew, that Broncos defense, and that Broncos offense with Bo Nix is coming alive. I gotta take the Broncos here, even with the Raiders' home field advantage. That defense is very good for the Broncos, and their offense is coming alive while the Raiders are dying. Then you have a heavyweight fight, the Hardball Bowl. You have the Chargers versus the Ravens. I think Chargers, they're looking in a sweet spot right now. They're number 5 seed. They're 7-3, while the Ravens are coming up a loss. I do think that the Ravens need this game more than the Chargers do. The Ravens have to stay within a game with the Steelers. But looking at team wise, the Chargers really haven't played anybody good. The Chargers defense has been all right, but they've been playing really bad opponents, and I think that Ravens offense will be able to cut right through that Chargers defense. I don't think that Chargers defense has really proven themselves that much. That Chargers offense to me is good, but I don't know if they can keep up against that Ravens offense. The Ravens defense, secondary specifically, has been pretty bad. So I do expect Herbert to throw a lot, but I think the bread and butter of that Chargers offense is the run game, and the Ravens are really good against the run. So I gotta take the Ravens here. I think they're more versatile. Then you have the Colts versus the Lions. I don't trust Anthony Richardson. That Colts defense is pretty bad, and the Lions right now are a buzzsaw. I can't go against the hottest team in the NFL right now, so I gotta take the Lions. Then you have the Panthers versus the Chiefs. As much as I like the Chiefs upsetting the Panthers upsetting the Chiefs, that ain't gonna happen. Panthers, they're not a good team. The Chiefs will bounce back. That's the Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes way. I'm gonna take the Chiefs here. Then you have the Bears versus the Vikings. This I think could be a potential upset game. It's a divisional game. The Vikings the past couple of weeks have not looked that good. The Vikings defense continues to be very good and should give Caleb problems, but that Vikings offense has not been very good. While the Bears, I think their defense has been really good. Offense has been so-so, but it's a divisional game, and I think um, that I think the Bears offense will have more success against that Vikings defense than the Vikings offense will have against the Bears defense. I'm going to pick the upset here. I'm going to pick the Bears upsetting the Vikings. Then you have two teams coming off by the Bucks and the Giants. Both these teams need to win bad, specifically the Buccaneers. And Buccaneers getting Mike Evans back, I think is a huge plus. I expect that offense to get much better. And their defense is all right, while the Giants, um, I don't expect much from the Giants. I think they're just in tank mode right now, so I'm going to take the Bucks. Then you have the Commanders versus the Cowboys. Similar to the Giants, the Cowboys are kind of in a tanking mode right now. Cooper Rush sucks. That run game sucks. The Cowboys offense sucks. The Cowboys defense isn't much better. While the Commanders, they're coming off back-to-back losses. They really need this game, and I think this Cowboys are a perfect bounce-back game. Uh, Jaden Daniels should have a field day versus that Cowboys defense, and the Commanders defense is not great, but it's better than the Cowboys offense. I'm going to take the Commanders here. Then you have the Seahawks versus the Cardinals. Really, I can see this game going either way. Cardinals have played better recently, but the Seahawks are coming off a win. It's a divisional game. However, I really I really can't. I really can't trust Geno Smith. He's been all right, but not amazing or anything. Seahawks have their moments, but I think Cardinals have the momentum. I trust that Cardinals offense a lot, so I'm gonna take the Cardinals here. Then you have the Packers versus the Niners. Packers, their defense pretty good. I think even with CMC back, that Niners offense really hasn't looked the same. Brock Purdy has not looked the same. The Niners defense, honestly, Niners has not looked like themselves. While the Packers have looked a lot better. Their defense has looked a lot better. Jordan Love is still throwing for touchdowns despite the interceptions. I'm going to take the Packers here. Then you have the Rams versus the Eagles. I could see this being an upset game as well for the Eagles. The Rams they're coming off a great offensive game versus the Patriots. That Rams defense really not good, so I can't see this one becoming a shootout. I know the Eagles defense has been pretty good this year. I don't know if I fully trust them yet. They had a pretty rough start. However, I think Eagles way more well rounded. I gotta take the Eagles here. But then you have my NFL Week 12 predictions.